Good morning. This is another episode of MrFong's Good Morning Rant. This is your favorite half Chinese, and as promised, I tried it and it happened again. We are going to do another morning rant, and this time I want to talk about a comment that was in my comment section on TikTok, where a person said, "Oh, Biden was better than Trump," and the other said, "No, Trump was better than Biden," etc. But what I need people to understand is none is better than the other. They are both puppets and serving the same people. They're never intended to serve the country. If any US president would really have intended to serve the country, first of all, that's never going to happen because everything needs to pass through Congress and the Senate, and that's not going to happen. By the way, this is the beach. Let's get a little bit closer to the water. But even if they could and everybody would be on board, then the United States would be a real different country. It would be extremely peaceful because no normal civilized nation would send its people to a war that is not needed, right? Like Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam, etc., the whole 9 yards, right? No sane country that cares about its people would do such a heinous crime against its own people, because it is, right? Because let's be honest, all these people that are going over there to take the life of innocent people are coming back also being having all things missing, right? Sometimes not right in the head, sometimes missing a hand or a leg, right? So it's just not something a country would do if they really care about their people. And that has been going on way before Trump. Now, I'm not taking it up for Trump. I'm just saying they're all puppets. You need to understand, they are all puppets. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. Definitely not, because I also live in the Netherlands. But if I was an American, they would care less about me. All they care about is serving their donors. And their donors are the exact same as the other so-called party. Then that is why I always call them, it is one party under two different names. They're working together to keep the rest out so they can rule with an iron fist over the American people. And that's that. So that whole mindset should change. Look at the sea. About who is better, and the same goes for the Netherlands. The same goes here. They are not here for us, right? All they do is talk. When was the last time they did anything for us? I can't remember. I cannot. So there you go. Just wake up, people, and start to realize you are not living in a country with a government that cares about you, who is voting them in, because in the United States that's not the case at all. The people in America can vote, but their vote essentially is meaningless because if the Electoral College that was a dog, decides to have another president, which happened 5 times, right, including 2016 with Trump, then there will be another president, right? Because in 2016 Trump lost the popular vote, and you got Trump. So there you go with your so-called democracy and your right to vote. I mean, it's literally only the right to vote. It's meaningless. So yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that and to have these things really, really cleared up. Because every time everybody is having all these high hopes that there will come some change. Well, tell me, when was the change that was positive for the people? They have ruined and ransacked everything, including in Europe, including in the United States. And who is it actually benefiting? Well, if we look at it, it is benefiting the real big capitalists like BlackRock and Vanguard. They have been thriving, while all the small businesses have been dying out. Isn't that the truth? So why do you think that they want to have this recession? Because they want those small businesses to be gone. They want them to go broke. BlackRock and Vanguard can buy them, and the owner of that company, they can become a store manager, or maybe even a CEO or whatever, right? And run the company for them. So in other words, you do the work, we take all the money, right? That is exactly what they want. They, that is why a lot of people say, oh yeah, well, America is going down. Yes, exactly. But that's great for them. You have to look at from the side, from the donors. What better situation than that, right? If the country is going down, the wages are also going down. Isn't it amazing? Right? Because everybody needs to have a job to survive, especially with these high prices, right? These are ridiculous prices. Well, get another second job, right? And this is what they have been teaching you. Well, you have to start to ask you one question. Are you living to work, or do you work to live? That's something that you need to understand. Really, honestly, I keep saying it, these people don't care about you. None. Right? So all of you, stop fighting each other. You are all in the same class. And that is the class that is basically the serfs of the corporates. The big capitalist corporates. And that is where they want you to be. That is why they don't give you anything like a good healthcare system, affordable, right? That is why your infrastructure is horrible. And we are getting the same circumstances. That is why you have millions of people living on the street. You have this opioid crisis, which basically your government is not doing anything about it. Instead of doing something about it, they're actually throwing oil on the fire. By some states that legalize these kind of abuse substances, right? Which country in its right mind would say, oh yes, we have an opioid crisis, let's just legalize these opioids, and then the illegality is gone? Like, what? Which country would say, oh, our people are suffering because of this opioid crisis, and then instead of doing something, blaming another nation for it, not taking responsibility for what they've done in the 70s during the Vietnam War, when they were shipping that white stuff all over to the United States. And now they are providing needles, clean needles, yes, so they can shoot themselves up and use more in a good way. Like, seriously? And then you're blaming other nations for those kind of mistakes. I mean, who brought that crack in the 80s into the communities, into the American communities? Was your own government, right? Who is the biggest trafficker in the United States? Well, there's many documents have been about it. Who has been doing that, right? Organization starting with a C and ending on an A. Right? So yeah, there you go. Stop being fooled by your politicians is what I have to say. Stop being fooled that you are living in some form of democracy and one party for the people living in the Netherlands, or a president for the people living in the US, that you think that they are going to change anything. Until the system has not changed, change will not come. Until the people do not create that change, there will be no change. If you are waiting for politicians to do that, I don't know. I've been waiting for 52 years. It hasn't happened yet. Should I wait another 50 years? I'm not sure if I'm going to survive. So, I'm not sure if you are going to survive. Maybe that's a question for all of you to ask. Why is it that you like to be fooled? Honestly. But first, look at this. This is our beach. It's the only thing that we have free in the Netherlands. We are allowed to walk freely on this. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop right here. I hope you enjoyed this morning rant. I hope that people will sit down and think about it and stop having hope on your politicians. They're not there for you. They have proven it time after time again. And let me tell you one thing. Obama wasn't better, he wasn't worse. Biden wasn't better, he wasn't worse. Trump wasn't better, he wasn't worse. And all the ones before, the same answer. They weren't better or worse. They just did and always have done what their donors ordered them to do. They are not your government, they are the puppets of your government. And you have to understand that. And if you guys still don't understand that, then yeah, there's no more hope. There's no more hope then. I hope you all sit down, and I hope nobody will be offended by saying this, because these kind of things are always, people feel so sensitive about it because, yeah, I don't know. You should not approach politics with your emotions, because the politicians are also not using their emotions. If they would be using their emotions, there wouldn't be any wars, right? And that's another thing for your politicians, because a lot of people also say in the comments, Trump is a businessman. So what does that mean? Why do you want to have a businessman in government? In government, you would like to have a person who cares about humans, not about business. Humans need to be number one on the political agenda of a politician. The society and the humans as a whole need to be number one. If you don't have that, then yeah, you know, business is a part of it, but it's not the entire part. And that is why in the West we only hear them talking about economy, etc. Economy which is not for you, which is not for me, right? So yeah, why would you care if the stocks are going up? Just an example. How many stocks do you have? It's, you know, it's just meaningless BS. Anyway, let me all know what you think of this in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this beach on Scheveningen near my house. I thought it would be fun to do a rant over here. And I hope to see you in the next video. This was your favorite half Chinese. Please like and share. And if you have not yet, then follow. And for the people who are watching this on TikTok, you can always see it on YouTube a little bit faster, because this format is for me a faster upload to YouTube than to TikTok. I will always do that in the next morning on TikTok. While this one I will put now on the afternoon when I'm back home. All right, see you guys. Have fun and have a blessed day. Your favorite half Chinese.